Well, I would point out though that the sacrifices that you're referring to are not always just giving up something. Sometimes these sacrifices involve getting something. For example, let's just say instead, if you were to get out of that habit of driving 3 blocks to the grocery store,
Right.
you might view that as a sacrifice, but you'll get money on gas and you'll reduce your
You'll be
waistline.
more fit.
Right? If you ride a bike to work, and we promote as Congress, if we promote bicycle non-motorized transportation, this will reduce our obesity, increase our green and renewable program. Some of these things are things that we think of as a sacrifice, but really are not. If we shut off the television,
Right.
and we might talk to each other and get to know each other a little bit better. If we just pull the plugs out when we leave the house, we can get rid of that ghost energy drain that steals energy when we're not even using these appliances. So these are just changes that you're speaking of that will definitely enhance our quality of life. But I want to mention that we have a bill called the American Clean Energy and Security Act, which does do some very important things. It creates jobs that cannot be shipped overseas. It reduces our dependence on foreign oil, increases production of cleaner renewable energy sources, cracks down on heavy polluters, and gives American entrepreneurs and innovators, as you mentioned your role on the Science Committee, what they need to stay competitive in a global economy. The fact is that this bill, this ACES bill, invests in American jobs, reduces our dependency on foreign oil, and does a lot of important things that we need as Americans. And so I'm thinking that, it's important that citizens, individuals like you and I, do better. But it's also important that the Congress take action.
Right.
Individual citizens, pull those plugs out, walk, do things, grow, do more walking, riding your bike, doing things like that. But also, we have as a Congress a societal responsibility that we cannot just relegate to the individual citizen. In fact, government often will signal better behavior and more green and renewable and earth-friendly behavior that citizens can partake of. So I yield back to the gentlelady. Well, that's very important, and I want to thank you for those observations. The Progressive Caucus needs good ideas too. We are being fully engaged in this energy debate that's going on. We are not shrinking from this debate at all. And if people want to offer some advice, there is a website that we have, and folks can give us their views. cpc.grijalva.house.gov. Grijalva is the name of our other co-chair, and because we do want to have people say, here's what you should do. One of the things that it means to be progressive is to be open-minded and try to gather in ideas from all places, to be grassroots, to gather in views and opinions from multiple sources. We don't claim a monopoly on good ideas, but we do have values that we uphold here on a progressive type. I want to just say, as we prepare to, in the next 5 to 7 minutes, hand it over to our Republican colleagues, that it's important that we do debunk a few myths, though. I mean, I've heard it said that the progressive support of cap and trade isn't that just an energy tax? Well, we believe that it's not. First off, Democratic plan is to repower America with clean energy and jobs. As for capping global warming pollution, the Democratic plan is simple. It makes polluters pay and helps green companies prosper so they can hire more workers. It's time that the American solution we put in place to successfully fight acid rain in 1990, after which time electricity rates fell 10% and the U.S. economy added 16 million new jobs. It's important to point out that the acid rain solution had a bipartisan support and was signed by the first President Bush. It's true also, another attack item, won't Democrats' energy tax raise electricity rates, even though President Obama said cap and trade will make energy prices increase. Saving consumers money is not a tax. Saving business money is not a tax. Sending $400 billion a year to abroad. Now that is the kind of tax that we do want to avoid and help the American people not have to pay. The Democratic plan declares energy independence and puts America on a path to economic recovery. President Obama spoke of transitioning to a clean energy economy that will create jobs, make our homes and buildings and vehicles more efficient, and protect consumers. In his inaugural address, he said, "We will harness the sun and the winds and the soil to fuel our cars and our factories." We believe that this is the right direction, although the Progressive Caucus will not simply adopt or parrot any policy. We will put forth the progressive policy and argue for those changes as the energy policy moves forward. We will be part of this conversation, fully participating in it, and ask that members of the public and the progressive community stand up and come forward to be part of this important energy policy. So before we wrap up, I just want to offer our co-chair an opportunity to comment on on our subject tonight, and after that we'll conclude.
Well, that's an excellent word, Congressman Woolsey. You again have been a great champion of a progressive message. You have been talking about a progressive promise. You've been talking about a progressive message. You have been lifting up the banner of progressive politics in this Congress, and we all want to thank you for your tremendous leadership, and not to mention your 309 consecutive speeches on favor of peace.
Thank you.
Tonight we've been talking about American clean energy and jobs. This is a symbol of a windmill. We can harness the wind and the sun. We can harness the natural world to live in harmony with the planet, not simply use it and exploit it like so much of an endless commodity, but to truly use it in a way that will allow humanity to live in harmony with the natural world and to create jobs and to make our needs met. We talked about tonight the need for individuals to do things. Is that right, Congresswoman Woolsey? Individuals should step forward. We do need to walk, not necessarily ride. We do need to promote transit. We do need to promote smart growth, livable communities. We need to do all these things. We should try to get a hybrid car or not even take a car. Just walk or use non-motorized transportation. We should pull out those plugs that we just leave sitting in the wall all day when we're not even at home. But it is also on the responsibility of government to take decisive action, to make the investments that we need in those bike paths, to promote a cap-and-trade system that truly reduces our carbon footprint and takes the proceeds from those programs and puts them back into renewable energy and helps ameliorate the cost to low-income individuals of meeting this important task. We need to do these things. We need to have a bold, committed program which gets the carbon footprint much, much lower so we can live on this planet. But finally, we need to remember that in honor of Earth Day, that this earth is something that we come from, not something that we are here to exploit. Even from a religious standpoint, we are the trustees of this earth and have a responsibility to take good care of it. And I want to commend all those congregations caring for creation, other groups like that doing good work, citizens out there doing good work, people concerned about the environmental justice aspects of this question of energy policy, making sure that low-income communities, communities of color, are in the middle of this fight for this clean, renewable world that we're coming into and are participating fully, not green for some, green for all, right? And so with that, we just want to thank everybody. Here's our website. We want to know what you think. We care about your opinion. Check back with us next week at the Congressional Progressive Caucus, the Progressive Message, hear about the Progressive Promise, and give us your ideas. Thank you. We yield back our time.